You can see I'm standing in some old hydraulic mine workings, but the mine we're hunting down today is actually down the cliff there. It's an underground mine, and this infrastructure you're seeing in front of me here is connected to it, and there's a rail system dropping down the cliff. I'm going to show you in a minute, but I wanted to start here and show you the stuff around us here. Obviously had a workshop here. Looks like they had a compressor mounted there. Given the rail system dropping down the cliff, there must have been a hoist somewhere, but I'm not seeing it right now. Oh, there's more stuff over here. This is, you can't tell from where we are now, but it is really steep back here. Look at the size of that timber support, or that one. They're massive. 12 by, that one's a 12 by 12. All right, well, now I'm really curious about this mine. The stuff I was just showing you is up there, and you can see the remains of this rail system running down the cliff here. It's always steeper than, it doesn't look as steep as it actually is. The two dimensions just don't capture it, but there's a landing down there that this rail system served, obviously. That's where the mine is marked. And you can see, well, there's a cable here around this tree, but you can see where the rails were cut in to the wood here and here. You see the track spike there. There's a look up. And like I said, it's a lot steeper than it looks. I'm stumbling just trying to film this right now. And we're headed down there, so I'll pick up down there. I think we're going to bomb down this ravine here because it's a little bit less extreme than going straight down front. All right, we just slipped and slid down the system here, and you can actually see the rails. A lot of the rails slid down here for some reason. One in front of me, another one there, another one over there, and now we're trying to pin down the exact location of the adit, which is somewhere right around us. So we bombed down the hill you see in front of me, and it was worth it. Look at that. Wide open adit. It's got the mine mud pouring out of it. There's some good rails here. Some of the quartz. With this mine mud like this though, and the location, this has to have been a placer mine, underground placer mine that punched in underneath the ancient river channels above. There's lots of stuff out here. Steep cliff here, so that makes it impossible to determine, you know, how much waste rock came out, because so much of it would just gone tumbling down the hill. Looking around some more, and Jake pointed out something significant in that you see this piece of quartz in front of us, and look, it's got a drill mark in it. So that means that, well, that would suggest that they were doing lode mining here as well. This could be a lode / placer mine, which, although more rare, they do exist. That's lode quartz right there. That's not river quartz.
That could have been an accident because they knew there was placer here from what's up top.
Right, yeah, exactly. That could have been an accidental discovery. It also makes it more promising because, you know, with the placer mines, it's normally completely caved underground. But if we get more lode conditions like this, that bodes well, potentially. More stuff over here. See a bunch of pipe and such. Naturally, we left the waders back of the truck because we knew this one was going to be eroded shut. So we're going to have to hike all the way back up that cliff That's a rail, old narrow gauge rail over here, as well as the airlines. Anyway, we're gonna have to hike all the way back up that cliff. We got our waders. It looks like there was some work done here. I would estimate around the late 1990s, early mid 1990s, possibly even. And then obviously it's older than that, but I should say it looks like it was most recently worked then. First look inside the mine. Goes back about 100 feet or so and bends, so it passes the 100 feet rule of not being caved. We went back to the truck and got the waders, which as you can see are definitely needed. I'm already up to my knees, and it's gonna be sloppy going through this stuff, but let's get into it, see what happens. Got my two buddies behind me, so if I go down a hole, they'll either laugh or see my last moments. This class is really, really tough going.
Easier for us.
Yeah.
It's like geese.
Wow. I hope this gets more shallow. Man. This is a good workout. You know, I don't understand why people join gyms who just go mine exploring. It's a great workout. Great leg workout, man. I can feel the rail. Can you guys feel the rail?
Yeah, I'm on it.
You feel the rail. And you know the water line or the mud line was super high outside?
No, it's not.
Yeah, now we're not. Got some spiders back here. I don't know what those are. All right, let's get into it. Kind of colorful in here. Can't remember if we said this on camera or not, but our speculation was that they were obviously running back because they knew the plaster was above, and then the lode stuff was probably.
Did you see all these gold corpses of bugs?
Yeah, I didn't comment on that, but
There's a bunch of them. Those are spiders.
yeah, the spiders are.
I've never seen those kind of spiders.
I have not seen those kind of spiders before either, so I don't know what the deal is with that. All right. Actually, oh man, we got an ore car.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting shallow.
Yeah, it's getting shallower, and we got an ore car, so we are looking good. Way shallower. This is great. And there's the ore car. All right, we stopped to take some pictures of the ore car before our footprints messed up everything around it, but that is really cool. And it's a fatty ore car too. That's a big boy. And look how wide that is. That's much wider than we're used to. There's a little pine cone in there. That pine cone's probably been in there for a long time. Have a squeeze getting around it. There's the front, or I suppose the back, depending on your perspective. Yeah, okay, look, there, you see him sliding by. I'll give you some scale on how big that is. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to work.
It's look how much surface metal can come off.
Yeah, oh, there you go.
Yeah, so you gotta pull this, and then it flips up.
Yeah.
It's a rear dumping.
Rear dumper, and there's the, look at the
This thing's
undercarriage.
coming off.
And then, yeah, look at us slopping through the mud. Just a lot more shallow here, but it gives you an idea of what we're working with. Then now I am really curious about what's ahead. Got that looks like a pump right there. Like a pump, and then you can see all the hose here, a water line. It looks like they were starting to drift here. Stashed all the hose there. And then it looks like somebody was picking away or exploring the ribs here. And we keep going this way. There's another junction up here. It's cool seeing the valves still in place. See the rail on the ground. Got stuff going both directions. That was a Jim Crow. That tool right there is called a Jim Crow and is used for bending the rails. There's a shovel, some other tools in here. Looks like the utilities are running back to the left, but let's do the right hand rule. Our shovel, more hoses. I definitely am getting the late 90s vintage from this stuff. You can see how they ran the line over the top of the drift here so they could run the ore cars underneath. Bucket's empty. Might be I don't know, I thought there was a face up there, but it just bends. There's a quartz vein here. This might be where they made the accidental discovery of the lode mine, or the lode properties of this mine. Has a lot of ingredients you want to see. It's got the iron staining and everything else. It's actually pretty colorful for our Sierra mines.
Those are supposed to go up over your belt. Oh my God, so here it is.
Okay, okay, here's more. Oh, it keeps going. This is great. More vein structure here. See the quartz right there? That's serpentine. Serpentine and quartz and the iron in between. Oh yeah, they were mining this. Look how much they carved out over my head. That's they took out about 4 feet. This is about 4 feet higher than it should be in terms of how much material they took out. So they were definitely working that. Old timber set here with weird mineralization. That crusty flake sticking out. That's pretty cool. Oh, I've got a fault wall on the left. See that flat, smooth wall? There's definitely a fault there. Got a timber set here and a raise or a stope above my head. Looks like a stope, yeah. So they ran up on this. That is, you see the vein there. They're obviously following the vein up, and you can still see where it runs up there, but must not acid out too well. Pretty cool. I hear running of water up ahead. You can see hose. Looks like another pump right here. Okay, yeah, they took out more material over my head here. Through there. Okay. There's something sporty over my head. You can see all the lagging and the timbers here, and they're loaded. Oh man, I wish I could read that. Maybe home on the top. It looks like Hess. Don't know. Old shovel. Okay, we're almost to the running water. Okay, it's getting wet. We got it. Oh wow. You're gonna like this. So, dammed up here. The running water's coming down the side there. The adit keeps going. I see a bucket way off in the distance. But over my head, this is pretty impressive. Might need your light on this one.
It goes a little ways.
Yeah, that goes. Big stope here.
Yeah, that's kind of a heavy amount of stoles for
Yeah.
a small space, so it's not saying a lot of good things about the rock.
No, it's not. There's
It smells like
yeah,
poop in here.
it smells very, yeah, it's a mineralized smell. Forest stoles overhead. Wow. I'm gonna get under this one and see what else we've got here. Yeah, so some stuff came down here. You can see the smashed up timber here. And then we're running up. So this actually looks like it might have been an ore chute right here. See how the sides are lined? Looks like they were dropping everything down here, and so the ore car would have been waiting. This is a presumption on my part, but presumably the ore car would have been about right where their buddy is. Well, this is gonna, I bet this is gonna be deep. No, it's about as I thought. Pretty muddy though.
I'm gonna clear this a little.
Okay, cool. This is, there's a lot of stuff here to trip over. Whoa, this is deep.
Yeah, let's try to
Cool mineralization.
change that a little bit.
Cool colors. Ooh, that's moving, I can feel it pushing against me. Okay, back on the rail, I can feel the rail. 350. Sounds about right. Oh wow, look at that mineralization in the mud. That's crazy. There's an old track spike right there. Oh, this mud is nuts. It doesn't make sense either. Unless it dammed up here, and like why would it lift up like that? Wow. Okay. There's more of that mud. That's neck height right there, so I'm really glad this was cleared out. More vein. I haven't seen any sign of placer yet, actually. You can really clearly see the vein action going on here. See, it runs all the way through here. And starts to pinch down a bit overhead. And then, oh, I see a ladder, looks like a flat car up there. See the dots tracking loads that came out. Alright, there's a lot going on here, it looks like. That's a modern flat car. That's not super cool like the ore car. There's some rope. An old ladder here. Didn't realize what this was at first. Got an old ladder here and a modern ladder, but unfortunately, modern ladder stops right there. I don't know if we can do that. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if we can get past that. Oh, okay. So the modern ladder goes up and hits a rotten wooden ladder. Ooh, that's kind of sketchy. I don't know how viable that is. That might have worked in the 90s, but that's had 30 years to rot. I don't know about that. I see some platforms up there. So obviously some stoping or exploratory work at least going on up there. Oh, there's a whole gallery of ore chutes here. So yeah, they were up in the stope there. Come back and take a further look at that on the way out. See if we can do anything with that. Look at the growth, the organic growth right here. That's amazing, actually. And that's the most I've seen this far in the ground. It actually has little flowers. You see that? I wish the camera would focus on that. There, now it's focusing.
This is real steel underground to it.
That's crazy seeing that underground here.
Yes, this is so they were working.
Wow. Okay. You can really clearly see the quartz here. So they were obviously running up on this quartz vein. See a bunch of waste rock dumped out of the ore chute up there. There's a good ore chute here in front of me. Oh, this ladder's gone, unfortunately. Super rotten ladder. But it did run up to there. That's the edge of the ore chute right there. Kind of bends back on itself. This mine is wildly exceeding expectations. I was plugged. See an old hose in the material plugging the chute. Wow, look at these straws hanging down. This mine is so impressive. Wow. So yeah, I got all these stringlets hanging down. This is, I'm gonna try not to break these off. This is just too cool. Wow. I really hope the colors are coming across because these colors are wild. One of the guys with us is a virgin, or I should say a rookie mine explorer. He has no idea how lucky he is with this one. This is wild. This actually reminds me of some of the mines in Colorado. You can see the ground here is pretty soft. Look at the stuff crumbling down where they put the lag in up there. Bunch of boards moved aside. So yeah, as I oh Jesus. Oh man, this is getting really ugly. So as I expected, the ore chute failed here, and that's what dumped down. But this is actually really bad ground over our heads. That's just like crumbly. Well, it's this. This is this stuff. There's no substance to it. This is, I don't know if you noticed or not, but the echo of my voice just completely disappeared. So this section is bad news. The vein right there. And then that mud looking ahead, that's going to be waist deep. Oh man. And it doesn't look like it gets better up there. Been making my way through this really sketchy section. Really don't like it. This has got just bad news everywhere you look. Everything's rotting and crumbling, waist deep in the mud. And then I got to get through this. You can see the condition of the timbers in here. I mean, they're not doing anything. Remains of a ladder there on my right. I gotta, just want to go under this or around that. Looking ahead, it looks like it might be completely caved up there. Man, it's really dark in here. I mean, the wood and the rock and everything is super dark. Okay, still alive. I made it past that. You can see it. I'm in front of this huge ore chute here, and it looks like there's the remains of the chute running up at a pretty shallow angle up there. Sorry I can't get a better view of it, but this is what I got to work with. And it's really bad up ahead still. I can't tell if that's caved or it bends up there. But it is bad news in here. Wow. Okay, I'm kind of trapped right now because there's a forest of timbers here. I'm trying to find a place to put my foot down, but It's all mixed in with collapsed timbers, so I gotta be really careful where I step or put any weight because I don't want to bring everything down on top of me. Yeah, I think that's a collapse, but I gotta get at least up to there to confirm that for you guys. Oh man, this is really bad. This is the most dangerous mine I've done for a while. Okay, this is interesting. It looks like, I can't tell if that's the remains of a pipe right there and the water is coming out the bottom. It's still mineralized. Everything's so coated in this mineralized mud. I can't tell what that is right there. It looks, there's got to be a piece of metal or something because you see how it's got that sharp angle. That's really unique, for lack of a better word. All the timbers back here are completely rotted out. Oh man, I'm still having the trouble walking. Find a place to stick my foot. Okay, that is a collapse. I'm gonna take a few more steps and then happily get out of here. Oh man, really having a hard time. See what happened is the top of all these timber sets came down and the lagging on top of it came down. And so now I'm sort of stumbling through this minefield in front of me. All right, yeah. It just looks like a continuation of what I'm in now, but it's caves, and I don't know if, maybe it's not entirely clear because the flashlight's not illuminating me enough, but in person I can see it's filled to the top with mud. So, this section's wild. I'm not used to seeing anything like this with lode mines in California. This is what I associate with underground placer mines, not lode. So there's a very interesting geological mix in here, that's for sure. See that stuff I'm complaining about stumbling through? It's that. See all the lagging up there? It's all that's come down. So yeah, the mud is flowing down from there, so I'd say the whole stope failed up there and it's dumping mud down from the placer workings above. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera off and get out of here, and we'll take a look at that aluminum ladder running up on the way out, but I don't think we can do anything with it. If we can, I'll show you. If not, I'll pick up at that junction where I went right. All right, we just finished out that drift, which I thought was gonna go like a 50 or 75 feet and just end. But we also have this drift, and this has got, looks like the more recent air and water lines running down it. Still has track too, so this one has got promise as well. Less muddy in this one, which I definitely appreciate. The mud at the end of the last section was bad. A lot of quartz in here. I'm seeing little bits of it all over the place. So the walls or the ribs of this drift are all stained with the dust from the blasting. They're not naturally this gray. We're getting these peaks. I mean P-E-E-K, peaks of what's back here. Was washed off, but looks like they're really in the quartz here. Got some rope here. More line. Oh yeah, they are really into the quartz here. Look at those chunks. That piece that we saw outside almost looks like it came out of like that section. Looks like a really old piece of drill steel, perhaps.
There's a scaling bar.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Solid steel, really heavy scaling bar. Pretty bent too.
An abused scaling bar. There's more quartz. I see a lot of lines here. We might be done. Yeah, we're done. So faces out there. Ore chute here. Running up. Oh, if that was not rotten, we'd 100% go up that. But that would just crumble to nothing. Here's a look up, the best I can show you. We've got huge, this is basically just solid quartz they're punching through here. and continues, well, through the ore chute back to where Jake is. Does it end in front of you?
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Interesting. So obviously that's why they stopped.
There's a little nest here. That's really
How-
far back to see a nest.
In the mud too?
Yeah.
That's insane.
This is like 500 feet back to here?
Wow, these rodents are impressive. Oh yeah, so you see massive quartz vein over there, and just kind of pinches down to nothing. There's a drill hole right there. Looks like a small drill hole. And then we just hit the barren rock right here. Just wrapping up. That's where the vein pinched out there. I don't remember if I showed that the ore chute was plugged here, but it's plugged. Pretty good shape still, actually. I mean, it's rotten, but it's still fairly intact. And then I just took a closer look at this, ore chute here. So you got all the quartz in front of us, but then that huge mass of quartz keeps running up right where they stoped it out, of course. Keeps running up. I really wish we were here when that ladder was still intact, because I would love to know how big that stope is up there. It's got to be decent with an ore chute of this size. It's a good sized ore chute. Probably, yeah, there's a lot of evidence here that this was heavily worked in the 20s or 30s. I don't know if that was when the mine was originally run, but it could even be 1800s, worked again in the 20s and 30s, and then worked again in the 90s. These abandoned mines, they're working off and on, every few decades at least, putting in mineral prices. So good chunk of quartz here. That's impressive. Well, this mine certainly exceeded our expectations. All right, so with this ore chute, one last thing I didn't mention before, is you see this slide in front of me. So the ladder is going up on the right there, but they have the slide. You can see it on the left there of the ladder coming along here. And what this was is they would have a small skip at the bottom here, and they would use this to raise and lower their tools. So the tool skip would slide along this next to them, and that would get their drills and other tools up there. Because there's no way you're going up that ladder lugging a jack leg. You've got to have something like this. So, very cool. Really, really cool mine. Especially because it doesn't even have a name on the map. It looks like a little tiny prospect on the map, but there was a lot going on here. Really cool mine on many levels. Looking around the general area of the mine, as we always do, just to see what else might be here, and found an interesting discovery here. The back has a 2018 registration sticker. Looks like he said 1990s Toyota Corolla. So stolen, possibly. A lot of them are. Another scenario, though, that we see very often is that you get these weird people that live off of drugs and handouts from the government will come out in the forests and car camp essentially until they run out of drugs or money, and then just abandon the vehicles. I'm actually leaning towards that scenario now, looking at some of the other stuff.
Food.
Yeah, the food, and then just...
They stock up on food and drugs, and they stay out as long as they can.
Exactly. If you didn't hear that, he said they stock up on food and drugs and then stay out here for as long as they can until they run out of one or the other or money, and then they head back into civilization and repeat the process. Yeah, given all the stuff that, like the type of clothing and things like that, I'm leaning towards that scenario.